Hey superstars, welcome to the Get Rich Without Being a Bitch podcast. I am Vanessa Shaw, your host for the journey that we're about to embark upon. Listen, if you're in business for yourself, you want to enjoy financial empowerment, live life on your terms, and frankly, live a much richer life, you are going to be in the right place because we are going to be challenging stereotypes, breaking through glass ceilings, giving you the tips, tools, and strategies that can help you be a better version of you, build life and business on your terms. So be sure to subscribe because you are not going to want to miss an episode. Go to your favorite podcast platforms on Apple or Spotify and hit subscribe now. And I can't wait to start the journey with you. Hey superstars, welcome back to another episode of Get Rich Without Being a Bitch, where we're exploring the real and raw conversations for women about what it takes to get ahead in business and, frankly, live a rich life and one that's fulfilling and lights you up. So where are we going today? Where we're going today is going to be the zone of genius. This comes up so much. Now, I want to start by attributing this. This is not my concept. This is from Gay Hendricks. It's the first time I read about it, so I'm not sure if Gay is entirely the creator of it, but it's certainly being used by many people, and it's a really, really great system to think through in terms of how do you spend your time and your energy. And again, whilst I'm on that topic, I am going to give a plug here to one of the books that I recommend probably the most, which has the zone of genius rather, in it. It's one of the chapters, and it is called... it's by Gay Hendricks, The Upper Limit. It's a fabulous, fabulous read. And it's all about how we stop ourselves. We kind of get to this place and then we don't get beyond that. And we'll be talking more about that later. But for now, let's dive into the zone of genius. What is it? And how does it apply for you and your business? So the zone of genius, there are 4 areas to be looking at. The zone of incompetence. These are those things, the activities that you do in your life, in your business that really you are not good at. And you probably make a lot of mistakes. You can mess them up. I'm going to give you my real examples of this as well. Because by the way, my zone of incompetence is pretty well honed at this point. I know those areas. But again, these are places where you will make mistakes. You would be very, very draining for you to do some things. So my examples of zone of incompetence, and I did it yet again this morning. Right now, I am working without an assistant, right? So I'm in a transition. And so I've had to become my assistant just for a little bit whilst we put some new systems in place, start to look at some different things that we want to improve and some automations. And what does that mean? It means that I have been sending out, doing some scheduling, right? Sending out some calendar invites. It doesn't matter how many times I've done this over the years. Do I put the Zoom link in the right place? No. Do I forget to actually invite people and it's on my calendar and I haven't even put, the email to somebody else? Yeah, I discovered that this morning. It is absolutely a zone of incompetence. I am perfectly capable of booking people on slots on my calendar and double booking and messing things up and putting them, frankly, on the wrong month, right? It's really not the best thing. So good news is we will be looking, to get that offloaded again soon, but that's an example of it for me. The next place is zone of competence. Now, there are going to be plenty of things that are in your zone of competence because you've got your business off the ground, you've got it to a certain level. And the reality is, as most of us as female founders, we've had to do all the things to get it started. And it does mean that we've probably got lots of skill sets. We are competent at responding to emails. We are competent possibly at doing our own books. We're competent at sending out, perhaps it's a marketing campaign. We are competent at, following up with a client and giving them some things. I mean, all these different things that we could be. The zone of competence, though, is probably, that area. Again, zone of incompetence and competence are going to be those places where you have to look at is it draining energy? Can you find somebody else to do this more effectively, efficiently, and cheaper than it is costing for you to do it right now? And that it will free up energy for you. Because just because you can doesn't mean to say you should. And it is a challenge when we are competent at things, but typically what you'll find is there's not a lot of energy in it. And perhaps some of those things are becoming rapidly energy draining for you. The next is your zone of excellence. And this is a little tricky place because your zone of excellence can be those things that other people actually say you're really good at. You'll get feedback. You've done them for a long time, well honed, got a superior level of performance in your zone of excellence. And as I say, the fact that other people will even value you for it. And if you are now in that growth phase of growing your business and you really want to be in that place of your zone of genius, the zone of excellence is going to have some opportunities of things that need to be offloaded. The big key in the zone of excellence is these might have been things that energized you and lit you up previously, but guaranteed your passion for those things has gone or it's rapidly waning, right? Because again, the more time we spend in our zone of competence, incompetence, zone of excellence, the less time we have to spend in our zone of genius. So what is the zone of genius? Well, these are the activities that only you can do. You've got some natural talents, some gifts and talents, right? We all have them. Perhaps it's a combination of things that you bring to the table. When you are expressing those gifts and talents, you are typically highly energized as well. These are going to be areas of passion, high area, things that frankly you would say, I would do them all day long, even if I wasn't paid. Right? That's a big key for your zone of genius. But the most important message to take away from this is when we link your zone of genius to what also makes money for your business, right? Because again, there's some things that only you can do. So only I'm a speaker, I speak on stages, I do sponsorships, front of the room. There is nobody else in my business that can do that. Right? This is not something that I can delegate to other people, but can I delegate admin, billing, invoicing, bookkeeping, some marketing, all of those things? Yes. But that one thing, when I'm in front of the room, if I'm speaking, it's my zone of genius. It comes easily to me. It's very energizing and it always generates revenue as well. Right? Either immediately or further down the line, filling the pipeline. So that's how you want to start to look at, that zone of genius. And then I love to ask, how much time do you think you are currently spending in it? If you're feeling depleted energetically in your business, chances are this is a great place for a clue. You are just not spending time there. And it's okay to not even know what your zone of genius is. Please don't feel bad about it. Sometimes we have to discover it because we've just got so buried in all the other stuff that we're doing and we've got questions around it. So give yourself the grace and permission to be actively curious about what it might be. Ask other people, where do they see that it is? Like those things that only you do, that you do really, really well, and that's furthering the business as well. But if you're not spending much time there and you're feeling, as I say, energetically depleted, that's going to be a big clue. And back to getting those things off of your plate, start to look at that zone of incompetence, zone of competence, right? Start shifting some of those things. Those are going to be some great clues for things to delegate, where you might want to hire a VA, an assistant, your next hire is going to be in those areas. And again, to give you a really practical application of this, I would, by the way, this isn't the most favorite assignment to do. I'm just gonna say this, but I can tell you it's always been so revealing. Is grab a few sheets of paper and over the course of about 3 days would probably give you a good spread. Literally write down all the activities you do from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed. And mark, all those little things. So you run to the post office, you go pay bills, you do this, you do that, you answer emails. How much time are you spending on those things, right? And where is your energy at? Is it high energy? Is it low energy? And frankly, is it making you money or not? Go through that for a few days. That will start to give you like the audit of how you're spending your time and energy right now. And then you can make some new decisions. So once again, superstars, something really practical to apply to your business. The idea here behind this is that you are moving the needle and spending more time in your zone of genius. You will then be revenue generating like far more than you have been to this point when you're not in your zone of genius, and you will be more energized as well. Please don't hesitate to write in to let me know what's resonating, the ideas that you love, how you're applying it to your business. And as always, leave a positive review on your favorite platform. It helps spread the word, and it helps other women just like you who are wanting to get ahead without compromising themselves. I can't wait for our next episode.